It started with a painting and a cryptic little verse. Now I've got 50 tabs and a marriage that's worse. There's a cask in a park, I feel it in my spine. Or maybe it's a gas leak, either way, it's a sign. We argue every week about the shape of a tree. Is that a face of flower or the ghost of John D? I told my therapist,
I mean, it's gonna be fun.
For a beat, then handed me a shovel and whispered, dig, dig.
That we're talking about,
it's the secret podcast where theories go to die.
Well, you're live, so you just told them all the core things. Oh, were you talking?
And caffeine shakes and a detailed chart of stupid spelling mistakes.
I'm doing like 20 different things over here. I think you just
podcast, we promise.
Yeah.
It's not a cult, but we do have shirts and a Discord and a vault. Some folks dig for treasure, we dig for proof that a lion in Milwaukee is absolute truth. We've got spreadsheets, lore, and emotional decay,
are they textured?
but no actual casks, and that's okay.
But also they're progressive lenses, which is really stupid.
If Byron can see us now, I hope he's proud.
My eye doctor, so like, my eye doctor, an eye doctor that I went to for a while tried to give me progressive lenses, and then I went to another eye doctor who was like, dude, you're too young for progressive lenses.
Yeah.
So like, because like your eyes are constantly gonna be fighting against them and stuff. It's you gotta wait until
the curve isn't directly.
It's the secret podcast where theories go to die.
Below my glasses to see the problem.
We're confident wrong and barely get by.
I just live with 2 sets of glasses.
Out stress and 4-hour debates and a spreadsheet full of minor mental breaks. It's the secret podcast, we promise. It's not a cult, but we do hold meetups and blame the Fairmont by default.
Bryant?
Stephen Bryant, yeah.
Nice.
He's a good guy.
Yep. Very, very good guy. All right, so we're waiting.
Brian's having difficulties, or what's going on here?
Brian is a difficulty.
I should send the link to Stephen too. Like,
if you want to, it's your show, dude. Yeah. Excuse me. So, your rich boss is giving you pizza for Labor Day, huh?
Yeah, man.
Nice.
It's gonna be sweet.
Fuck with pizza parties. I hated that shit.
Yeah.
Like I used to, cause like a long time ago, I worked in this plant in South Carolina, and like we made velvet, for God's sakes, and they were like, "Oh, if you can increase your productivity by 50% this quarter, we'll throw a pizza party." Like, how about give me 50% of the profit?
Yeah.
Pizza party,
I
my
don't want
ass.
pizza party. Tell you what, you give me my share of the actual money,
I'll
and
go buy
will
pizza.
Provide the pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why unions are good. You guys don't have do you have unions?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got unions up here. Kim's in a union.
Are you in a union? You should get in a union.
No. No.
Well,
there are trade unions out here, but we're just not in one.
I went to Chicago to work for my job once, and the facility that I went to was a union facility, and I wasn't a member of the union, so they wouldn't let me touch anything. So just sitting there for like 2 weeks doing nothing. Like, why am I even here? You won't let me touch anything. Yeah. Like, I don't mind giving you a hand. They're like, no, you can't touch anything. Okay. I'm just going to go hang out at the Bean.
Somewhere else now.
Call me if you need me. But you're not gonna. So.
No.
That was a lot of fun.
I bet.
Did you send it to Steven?
I did.
Okay.
I don't know if it's sending the whole link, though, but it should be.
I mean, I can try again. Jason says it's quiet in here. I don't know if that means he can't. Oh, look, it's Steven.
Hey, Steve.
Steven,
can you hear me?
Steven has to turn the live stream down, though. Steven has to turn the live stream down. Yeah, on his computer.
Oh, that's right. Hold
on.
Do that. Here we go. What am I doing? What did I do wrong?
I want one of those hats.
All right.
I wonder if Steven has his speakers set up for us. I bet he can't hear this right now.
No, it'll come later.
All right. So I'm assuming y'all can hear me, but I can't hear you. So
Yeah.
just give me a second and we'll make this happen.
You have to, in the program, just set your audio to your headphones because it's probably set to your speakers. You can't hear this, but it's very good advice.
How are you, beautiful people?
We're really good. You don't care because you can't hear.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh, now you can hear. Okay, good.
Right on.
Nice.
Well, thanks for the invite, bro.
Yeah, Cole's talking about coming to America. He figured since you were there.
Well, that'd be the only reason. We know that.
You saw it live.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was just thinking about you, George. I was
Oh, yeah?
cleaning that image you gave me.
Oh,
that
yeah.
frame.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was working on it for about 30 minutes.
Oh,
Pretty cool.
nice. Cool. I'm glad you like it.
No, I love it. It was a nice surprise. Thank you.
Oh, look, Brian's coming
Hey,
too.
Brian.
Are you going to talk about how you peer pressured Brian into getting a tattoo?
I'll tell you even how I did it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So Rachel wants me to mention that I should have had the dates. The day before the cruise, 14 days from now. When's the cruise? When do we leave?
The 14th? Hold on.
I'll be right back, okay?
It's called Show Cole left.
I think it's the 15th. Where
Yeah.
Most people are going the day before.
So the 14th,
meetup.
yeah. We're having like a little mini meetup in Miami at the Holiday Inn at the airport.
Mhm. Yeah.
Brian's going to be there. Everybody from the cruise. There's probably going to be like 40 people there. So it's...
I just found out Christopher's going to be there for the scanning.
Yeah, he's coming.
That was a nice surprise. We were talking about that earlier.
Kathy...
He didn't know I was going on the cruise.
Oh. I think Kathy Vale's got the anniversary cask, and she's going to bring that, and we're going to take it on the cruise. And then Christopher is coming back when we get off. We're going to do like a brunch or something, and he's going to pick it up, take it home, fix it, scan it.
Good deal.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, I think Rachel and I are getting there like super early in the morning of the meetup because we want to go to a bunch of museums and shit.
Yeah, I think I get in about 2:30, so I don't know if I'll be around or whatnot. So I don't know. Probably might hook up with Christopher if y'all are already out and about, but we'll see.
Yeah.
You guys should hang out with everybody for a whole week.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. If you get in time, I don't know when we're going to the museum. I told Rachel that I wanted to get it done like out of the way pretty quick because one of my favorite artists, don't ask me, he's Japanese, I cannot pronounce his name, but one of my favorite artists has like a exhibit there, and I've never physically seen his work. I didn't think
that's wicked.
I didn't think he displayed it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see it. Hopefully they got some prints and stuff. It's not like I can afford to buy an original, so might as well get a print.
No, the same thing happened to me. I was in Amsterdam. I went to the Van Gogh Museum, and they just happened to have Banksy there. And I'm like, what?
Oh, right. Nice.
So it was cool. I get it.
So, yeah.
What happened to Brian?
I don't know. He'll be back, probably. But we're going to do that, and then I think the day after... so Brian was put on the thing as going to the museum and going to brunch and stuff, but I don't think he's going to. I think he... Brian's in. I think he's going to spend some time with his wife in Miami. Because he told me, he was like, don't hold it against me that I want to spend some time with... Or he was like, don't hold it against my wife that she wants us to spend some alone time in Miami. I was like, dude, you're going to spend 5 days on a boat with all of us. You're going to want some alone time too.
Do what you want.
Yeah, man.
That's what it's all about. Like, he was so kind in Cleveland. He did a lot for everybody.
Yeah.
He was stern with a lot of people. You know, it's like, don't touch the cat.
Yeah. So I think there's going to be that little mini meetup the day before on the 14th or whatever. And then when we get back, I think everybody's going to drag brunch, which is going to be cool.
Oh yeah.
And then
Oh.
the Paradox Museum. So if you're in or around Miami, just let us know if you want to go to any of that stuff. Or if you want to go on the cruise, tickets are like $600 for 2 people now. They're crazy cheap. So anyway, that's my spiel that I promised Rachel I would do.
Thank you, Rachel.
Take it away, Cole.
Hi, Brian. Brian, you got to turn your microphone on, dog. Oh, he left.
Wrong
He's
button.
like, tell me what to do.
This is fun. Jason's making fun of you. People are making fun of you in the comments.
Me?
Yeah.
What are they saying?
He's
Oh,
like, "Are you
not all
sure you?"
bad.
He's like, "Are you sure you want to come to America?" Sunday Funday. Cole got up and left.
Well, he's been here before. He knows to get his crazy tea drink that he loves.
That shit's gross.
I know, right?
But dude,
I
Steve,
went to kick off for it for a while, so I know why he likes it. But you eventually just go, "All right, I'm done."
Steven, did you?
So this one here is a local tea that we make in the city that I'm living in.
Yeah.
Troubled Monk is the brand.
Well, that's awesome.
Good. Wow. It's way better than Twisted Tea, but you'll never get it there.
Did you ever have Not My Father's root beer?
Yes.
That shit was good, and I was addicted to it. Like, not in a bad way, but in like I really liked it. And then it was pulled off the market, and then we have this grocery store here called Aldi, which is like this German grocery store, and it's like super huge in German, and they have all their own brands, and they have this thing called Blue Barrel's new fashioned hard root beer, which tastes just like Not My Father's root beer.
Oh wow!
That's crazy.
Yeah,
they had that.
So,
all right,
I'm excited now.
That'd be awesome.
And
Steven, where's your secret necklace?
I didn't get one. You know, I was going to reach out to the person that made them, but I was kind of late. I was doing a lot of stuff personally, and I was hoping that maybe somebody might have one on the cruise or something. So we'll see.
She's gonna sell them soon.
Yeah.
So,
I'd rather the people who got them go ahead and get them. I can wait. So
I think these are all artist proofs. Or Cole, yours is numbered, right? You got like number 1 or something. I think Brian has one too. Mine and then
says 1C.
Yeah, 1 Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So mine just says G.
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous.
That's cool.
John,
always look at y'all's.
John has one that says J. So.
Like John Palancar?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have it
crazy.
yet, but it's going in the mail with Steven's stuff tomorrow. I shouldn't have said that. With some other stuff tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many people are watching us right now?
Oh, I don't know. 20, 30, 30. Yeah, pretty much. 20, 30, 30 something.
Fun.
Not many.
So you said this is Cole's Funday Sunday. What do you want to talk about, Cole? How pretty you are, how good you look, that
take it away,
fantastic
Cole.
shirt you're wearing.
I always want to talk about that, but I mean, we were going to discuss just my trip to Florida because it was probably like, it was my only like true secret experience. And, it's what's unique is that like I'm very far away from literally every city, including the Canadian one. Oh, you got the gator jerky. Nice.
Sorry, I haven't eaten it yet, but I'm going to.
Oh, that's cool, man.
I don't have anything cool to
but
pull
no,
out.
like it's very everywhere is very far away from me in regards to the secret, including the Canadian city. And so to be able to go to St. Augustine of all places, and actually put a hole in the ground and things like that, it was a really pretty surreal experience.
It's a pretty cool city to go to for the first time, too.
What's that?
It's a pretty cool city to go to for the first time, too. Because it's not huge like New York. You're not going to get lost in, like, all of the, it's not overstimulating. It's just
like I've been to Seattle. I went to Seattle for my honeymoon, and then again a year later than that. But Seattle's basically a Canadian city, so like there's very little difference between it and Vancouver, say.
Except for good music. Seattle's got good music.
There's that, yeah. I mean, Devin Townsend is from Vancouver.
Yeah, but everybody else is from Seattle.
And so is Skinny Puppy. But yeah, everyone else is from Toronto.
Walking in Vancouver is different. I'll tell you that. It's
Yep.
so nice.
It's an interesting city, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, dude,
It
I will
goes
tell you
from
when
real
you were
pretty to real ugly real fast.
when you were in Florida and when I met you, you were so jovial. It was just your energy was infectious, man. You're just a ton of fun to be around, and
Thank you.
it was a lot of fun being around y'all. I was
I
thankful that I
remember
was able to drop in.
when you first came to the crab shack that we were eating at. Like I had no idea who you were. I knew your name, but I
Yeah,
didn't know. Like I had never seen your face, I don't think. And
yeah.
I thought you were kind of mysterious because you were so quiet. Me and Brian were sitting at one table, and then George and Rachel and
Jeremy.
what is that guy? Jeremy, thank you. We're sitting at the other table, and then you came and you just sat with George. Hey, that you came and said hey, and then you just sat down with George, and I was like, ooh, that guy's like kind of. I didn't want to use the word recluse necessarily, but
Mysterious.
yeah, there was like all that was missing was a cloud of smoke and some glitter.
Well, you did have
Right,
the
right.
super cool Louis Vuitton glasses on that make you look like a
Yeah,
superhero.
those things were dope.
I should have brought
Because
him in.
what was the
Yeah.
deal with those? They had a camera or something in them, didn't they?
No,
No,
that was
no.
mine. Mine have a
No,
camera on
my
it.
That was
wife
yours.
bought them for me for my birthday. She always says that I have a eclectic type of personality, and I've never seen anything going into places like that with her. And I saw them, and I looked at her, and she was like, "Get them." I'm like,
Mhm.
They're really
so
cool.
they're
Yeah.
around like this. I'll have to bring a picture up or show you, but it's
Yeah, they
they're
were
just my
sweet.
favorite glasses. I
I've-
mean, it
I've
freaks
always
people out or they love it.
I've never really wanted Louis Vuitton stuff because it feel like it's like a little
Same.
above me. The
Same.
only two things I've ever wanted, I want a Louis Vuitton card wallet,
Oh, okay.
but they're still like $600.
Are they?
Yeah,
Jesus.
they're crazy
Dude,
expensive.
I saw one not too long ago. If I come across another one, I'll let you know. Like,
I
dude, look
can't
in pawn
afford it.
shops. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I'm a pawn shop type of guy.
I'm gonna end up
and
getting
they got some crazy stuff in there.
I'm gonna end up getting a Coach one. They got like a Coach outlet near the house, and they're only like $75 there. But anyway, the second is those glasses.
Well, awesome.
Those
I'll have
glasses
them
are
on the
awesome.
cruise, and you can wear them.
Okay, thank you. I'm
You're
no,
welcome.
I'm not gonna touch them. They're Louis Vuitton. They're worth like $1,400. I'll break them
man. Who cares?
anyway.
It's all about the experience. Just like Cole, he was an experience.
Cole, you
Yeah,
should
it
have
was
came on the
definitely-
cruise.
I know, man. I want to come to a cruise in that. I'll go to next year for sure. There's two things I'm doing next year for sure. One of them is the cruise, and the other one is the Gathering of the Juggalos.
Well, so we're not doing
Oh,
a cruise
wow.
next year. We're going to Vegas.
Okay, I'll do that then.
The cruise is the year after next. I think we're doing a West Coast cruise the year after next. It's
That-
weird.
I'll do Vegas.
That would allow a lot of other people,
Yeah.
that don't want to travel across the country.
It's really strange to be planning these kind of things.
For a book club.
Yeah. Well, I remember like when me and John first started this thing, we had a broken mic. Like my
Did you
mic
really?
my mic was broken. The mic he gave me to use was broken, and it's still broken. And like we started this podcast with just two dudes with a half like broken mic, and now we're like planning cruises and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah.
Whatever. So anyway,
Anyways. Yeah, it was really neat to sit down with people. Like I've secreted in a sense before. Like there was Michelle from Calgary came up that one time, and him and I kind of shot the shit a little bit. And then Graydon Kramer actually came up to Winnipeg because he lives in Brandon, which is kind of a couple hours away. And we sat and discussed a lot of things. And so that that up until the time I came to Florida, that was the most like discussion that I've had in person with somebody, right? Pardon me. And but to go to Florida, like where the potential to actually dig one of these things up is so high, comparatively,
Yeah.
even to Winnipeg, it was a really neat experience. Like you like to be able to stand somewhere and say this is there, right? Was like
yeah.
Well, it was
Yeah.
pretty cool seeing everything through your. Sorry, George. I didn't mean
No,
to-
you're
I don't know
fine.
if there's a delay or not, so I
No.
apologize.
You're good. Go. Just say what you were gonna say.
I already forgot what I was going to say. So go ahead.
There, like I still like we were talking the other day, Cole, and I still feel like that is what trips up 90% of the searchers that are in the groups because like people just talk about just random ideas or whatever crap that they find, random stuff that they find in history that nobody's ever seen before that kind of relates to a word that's somewhere. But like when you're in a spot like the Fountain of Youth and you're seeing, I don't know, the words from the verse written on plaques everywhere, where you're seeing stuff referenced very directly, I think it puts the hunt in a completely different light. I feel like that's why most of these people who just go off on wild tangents and have never been to a city, that's why.
Right. And that's unfortunate. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too that that's sort of like it's a breeding ground for confirmation bias. You know what I mean? Like so many people, they like the word breakthrough gets abused a little bit, I think, when it comes to the secret community, because people will confirm things in their own minds about ideas in the puzzle and stuff like that, and because they rationalize how to do that, and they can prove to themselves what they want to be true. It becomes a thing in the community, and it can be damaging because it allows people to force the puzzle into their ideas as opposed to their ideas into the puzzle, right?
Yeah. It's super
Which is the
damaging.
biggest detriment of all in the whole thing. Like whether you work with people or not, like if you're working on your own or whatever, brute forcing the puzzle to fit your ideas is like it's never going to work.
Right.
You know what I've noticed the past couple of years, and I think it's because of posts and people making posts like that. Past couple of years, especially, is the people that you want to talk to about this treasure hunt, they're not willing to talk to anybody anymore. Like all of the deep thinkers, not even old school members, but the deep thinkers about the puzzle, the creative puzzle people, they ain't gonna talk to you anymore. They don't post in the groups. They don't comment on anything. They just sit around and work, behind the scenes. And I think it's because like you watch some of these Sunday Fundays where we're just talking to people about random whatevers, and you can't have a conversation with half of the people. Because just like the conversation we had, what was it, this past Sunday where we were talking about nursery rhymes and stuff. It's like, how do we carry on a conversation about this? Like, we can't.
I will tell you, if you don't mind me saying, I remember the first time that I got into The Secret, and I thought I was thinking outside of the box, and I was reaching out to somebody that had the real book. I was like, hey, you ever used like a iridescent light or something to see if there's like, hidden clues or whatever? They're like, yeah, we've already tried all that. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And, a lot of people come on board and say some pretty amazing things. And with that said, George, do you ever find out that you have to watch what you say so you don't hurt other people's feelings? Or
Yeah.
do you just tiptoe around it and just keep going? Because I find myself being more blunt and telling people, I like where you're going with this, but I disagree. And I hope that we can keep talking, because I don't want to tell you what you want to hear just to keep our friendship. I
Yeah.
think you need to bounce off each other and be like, you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe I do need to look somewhere else.
So
But there's an aspect to that I think a lot of people kind of avoid, and that's their willingness to be wrong. You know what I mean? Like so many people get into a conversation with other people hoping that they're going to tell them how right they are, and as soon as they don't, they write them off, and they'll say things like, "Where's your
That's
task?" and all that
unfortunate.
kind of stuff. And it really is, because discourse
That's
deserves
over there.
more than that.
I don't know. See, I isolate myself. The question you were asking, Stephen, I isolate myself from that. Because now, it's gotten to the point where I've talked to so many people privately for so long that it's caused problems. People will come out and be like, George said this, or George said this, or George was an asshole in private message.
Right.
And I really can't, I can't fight that. What am I going to do? Post our entire conversation history to show that I wasn't being an asshole? So whenever people message me now, I'm like, if you want to talk to me, just book a Sunday Funday. I will only do it publicly. And then when we're on Sunday Funday, I ask, do you want me to just beat the shit out of your ideas, or do you want me to be kind and whatever? And then I just follow the guest's lead. I just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So is that good for the puzzle as a whole? Is it good for the people on Sunday Fundays? No, not really, but it's, it's what causes me less crap.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, because I've had people reach out to me. I've seen, I forgot what the gentleman's name is, but he used some of that focus crop recently with Roanoke, and he tagged me in his post. I don't agree with where he's going, And I even posted on there, hey, I might disagree with you, but what is your next idea? What are you doing?
What is flickering? Oh,
Anyway,
give me a second. You keep
like
talking. I can still hear
a
you.
disco thing. But I love it when you can talk on the groups and you're able to say something to someone without them getting upset. And I was treading lightly, and he responded, well, this is why this is this way, that way, and so forth. And I love that. But most of my experience has been, if I don't agree with someone, 50% of the time they will tell me I'm wrong, and I'll never hear from them again. And I'm just like, hey, I still want to be
Yeah.
your friend. This is not an argument. This is a
Yeah.
disagreement, which is healthy.
Yeah. I
So,
just get people calling me a gatekeeper and being like, just these old folks that haven't found a cask and they're gatekeeping the puzzle and just hate everybody that doesn't think the way they think.
oh, I wish it was that easy.
Yeah.
I really do.
That's what
Like,
I get. It's like, whatever. Anyway.
like
Well,
for
see, that's
Charles.
why I think
Go ahead.
like getting together with people in in person, the internet doesn't leave a lot of emotive qualities, to be discovered, because texting and things like that, you can't hear inflection, you can't understand properly just by reading, because you're constantly making an assumption about what the other person's actually saying. But to sit down with people, like especially people you've never really met in person before, like this, I mean, I've talked to Brian for years now, I've talked to George for years,
Right.
I'm sure Steven and I have spoken over the years, things like that. But
Yeah,
to actually
several
sit down
times.
with
Yeah.
them and and discuss stuff, like it's easier to do that civil discourse thing where you can agree and or disagree about things without causing a fight. The internet
Yeah.
goes from zero to pissed off like that, and it's really unfortunate that that's the way that works. But you know, we have been seeing a crop up of, independent meetups, if you will, within the community. And I think that's kind of the new key in a sense, right? Is get people together, go out and have fun,
Yeah.
irrespective of the podcast people or anything like that, stuff like that. And report it back to the community. Like at the end of the day, we're all kind of journalists in a sense, and our only topic of discussion is this treasure hunt. And to sit at home and not go out into the communities and stuff like that, like it's a disservice to yourself and in a sense the community
Right.
at large.
But do you think that's because it's like easier to talk to people and pick up on cues in person, or it's because the kind of assholes that just argue with people they're not willing to meet up with anybody? Like, could you imagine if I met up with half of the people that call me a gatekeeper? Like, they're just not going to come out of their house. They're,
No, that people don't do that in person. It's so easy to hide, behind, words, or even like a video like this.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen on here, and it's like, hey, it's not against you. It's just your theory just sounds kind of off, and
Yeah.
people don't understand. Like, I've had somebody reach out to me like, hey, you've been around George, you've done some things. I'm like, yeah, but I don't have insider information. I've done some videos, the Cleveland meetup and all that, but a lot of people think that once you get into the click, and it's like, no, there's no click. There's either your friends or you're not, but you don't come in and you don't start prying,
Yeah.
and it's difficult because you want everybody to be able to do what they want, but if they're not going to listen to another side, then they're just going to hit a brick wall.
Yeah. Well, like when I went down there, before I even left, George and I discussed this a few days ago, but I wanted to take like a, I hope you get the reference, but like a gonzo journalism style look at
Yep.
this whole trip, right? Like, and so I didn't go to Florida with theories in mind or anything like that. Like, I have no theory for Florida. Of all the puzzles, it's probably one of the two or three that I've looked at the least. And so I wanted to go down there and just, listen to other people. And I got like, I saw two or three different theories thrown out about Florida, pardon me. And I could see why any of them would have been right. You know what I mean? Like, they were all, the way that they were discussed to me and the way that those people explained them to me, they made it very believable regardless of where it was.
Yeah.
Right. And, and then of course, so when George took me to where I dug a hole, at the amphitheater or whatever, um, like I don't know if you remember this, George, but you showed me that photo of the rock and the tree and stuff, and I just pointed at the ground and was like, I want to dig right there, right? Like I had no reason to pick that particular spot, and then the second spot, the only reason was because it was so like it seemed kind of perfect, not because of anything in the verse or the image really, but there was a spot that I thought, you know what, this is where I would actually want to dig, right? But I didn't go there with a preconceived notion that I knew it was at Fountain of Youth or I knew it was anywhere else really, right? I just went there open enough to say, okay, well, let's go have a look at this place. And if you can find things that make sense, then great. But, you know, having some kind of a preconceived idea when going to the cities, um, it's good, but at the same time, like you need to keep it open, your mind open to the fact that there's so many things that could like in one city that could possibly relate or could be the spot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think here's a question for you. I think in St. Augustine, this is a whole bunch of a statement before the question, but I think St. Augustine is kind of unique in secret cities in that 95% of the people are digging and forming their ideas for the exact same place. And then the other 5% are just all over the place and are kind of, their ideas are kind of easily dismissed because they don't really make any sense, right? So you've got 95% of the people at least starting in the same place and staying within the same couple hundred yards of each other. And I think that's what makes those various ideas, like you said, you could have 2 or 3 different ideas that kind of make sense. And it's all because they're using the same clues for the first 3/4 of the verse. And then at the end, it's where they deviate. And it's the same stuff that's been around for years and years and years. And I think when you go to the park and you realize how small that place is, right? Like any of those other places kind of just work.
Yeah.
So I wonder what your experience would be in St. Augustine versus going somewhere like San Francisco where everybody's just all over the city. I don't know.
That'd be interesting. I think, like what that, you raise a good point. Fountain of Youth is very small. Like, I called it a museum in our conversation before, but that's not even really what it is. It's a small plot of land where they recreated a bunch of historical stuff. And, like it makes sense to pick a park that small as opposed to like, Disneyland or something like that, because that's miles and miles of land that's, searchable. And, but I think like an opinion that I formed but didn't really ever talk about much when I was there was that the Fountain of Youth in St. Augustine seemed a lot less significant than a lot of people were making it out to be. And the possibility that that's just like almost like a mile marker as opposed to the location of the cask, to me seemed a little more probable. You know what I mean? And, it was interesting to see, like, we stood outside of the park at a certain point, 3 of us, and it kind of dawned on all of us that it very well could have been outside of the fountain, but being at the Fountain of Youth is a really great place to start, as opposed to you have to be inside the park. Like it's because there's always the argument about permission and things like that when it comes to any city other than Montreal, because that's the only verse that says get permission. But regardless, I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility that something even as significant as the Fountain of Youth to the secret people, is just a like a waypoint.
Yeah.
You dig?
Yeah.
And like in reference to what you said about going to San Francisco or New York where people are just all over the place, well, I mean, the problem with that is that there's so much possibility.
Yeah.
Right. And there's nothing really narrowing down, as closely specific as, say the Leg Eater or the Fountain of Youth, right?
I don't know. The Fountain of Youth is weird in St. Augustine because everything except for the windrows you could take and package, and all of those things that the clues represent can be found in the same place in like 2, maybe 3 different places in the city, right? Because you're essentially in the Fountain of Youth telling the story of the fountain, not really telling the story, but going through the motions of the founding of St. Augustine. You're just pointing out different things about the founding of St. Augustine. And there are several places in the city that do that. So you'll find the same information except the windrows in those places. But, you know.
Well, I went to St. Augustine before I knew about the secret and did the little trolley and we went around everywhere. And then for the St. Augustine meetup, I actually did a little, you know, investigating and
Yeah, you walked
nothing
around a
was-
lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, and nothing was clicking for me until I started seeing, and George, you can correct me, right before you start to head to the fort. A lot of people say that the square where the jewel is, that kind of clicked for me. And right below the in the St. Augustine image, there's like a little design in the head, and I found a street match with that. I mean, it led to nowhere, but there's just so much there to point you in different directions. And you know, I don't know if it was Tim Dwyer or if it was somebody else that took me to a tree where they finally had to put stones around all the tree
The old
because
senator.
people dug there. And I was just like, well, I don't get a vibe for that here, but there's just a lot in that painting,
Yeah.
in that verse, you know, like over the tall grass years pass, rain falls. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's our dilemma.
Yep.
I still don't understand why people dug at the old senator. It's not even the tallest tree in that parking lot.
Right.
But they did. So now there's concrete around it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. Somebody said we need someone to copy Gerald Gay and do a Thank St. Augustine cask so John Palancar can give us a hint like the Fairmont. It would be helpful.
I don't know. I think he's given a lot of hints.
He has, but nobody listens.
Yeah, I was
No.
looking through the Cleveland stuff today, and actually, you know, there's one view that you said that you really liked when I was close up on him. You said you liked that, and I just for some reason brought it up, and I was like, oh crap, I don't remember that. And he's just talking little hints here and there about Byron and whatnot. And I'm like, people should really rewatch it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, like the stuff that people dismiss the stuff that he said, or they read into the stuff that he said, but like if you had gone back, I don't know, just before the episode of Expedition Unknown and gave all of the old time hunters everything that he said so far, it'd blow our fucking minds. Not because it's like useful information. It's more like, okay, you're on the right track.
Right.
Keep
right.
going.
Yeah.
So
I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to turn the light.
he has to turn on something. So anyway, it was fun though. It was fun because like you were geeking out, and it was fun to see, just like running around the Fountain of Youth, petting the cat and fucking.
Yeah. Getting in trouble.
But it was good kind of good times. Most of it was good times.
Yeah, most of it was good times. For me, anyways, it was a great time. But
Yeah.
until I contributed to the unemployment line. But
Not for either of us though, so thankfully
No.
we're still employed. What did we do after that? Because like me, you, Brian.
Well, we went to the. I mean, you took me to the amphitheater that night.
Yeah.
On one of the last nights because I wanted to dig.
And then you were so impressed that you left your Marilyn Manson hat, which I was like, holy shit. And then you were like, it's okay, just leave it there. It's like a gift for the. It's like there's no way. Once you got back home, I knew you were gonna regret that shit. So.
Yeah. I wear that toque to work now.
Somebody asked, I know you don't think, nor do I, that St. Augustine isn't Fort Mose, but have you ever been to Fort Mose? Yeah, I went to it a couple of times after it reopened.
Well, that's
nice.
one of the places you took me was Fort Moultrie. Was that, or what is that place called? The big fort?
Castillo de San Marcos? Big ass fort?
One.
Yeah. You didn't go to the
that was pretty rad.
Fort Matanzas. I don't think. Did we take you to the tiny fort, or we just point at it?
I think we just pointed at it.
All right. It's hard.
That was the only time that I saw a mega hunt. The whole trip was at that place.
Yeah. We got that. We got a douchebag that's like got he bought a house across from the bay, and he's put up these big signs that say like Democrats aren't welcome in St. Augustine. Only locals or Republicans and all this, and it's a dude from Philadelphia. He doesn't even live here. He's it's like, this is a piece of shit guy.
Wow.
But yeah, I
I
digress.
remember you
No, that
turning
place
him on
was
to
rad.
NASCAR.
Huh?
Daytona?
Yeah, we took.
Yeah, we went to
we took
Daytona
Cole to the
Museum.
Daytona 500.
That's where I really geeked out. That was my
Yeah.
Disneyland right there. That place is bananas, man. I didn't realize how like, I mean, like I said to George the other day when they let you sign the finish line. First of all, like when you think of 33 degrees of banking, it doesn't sound like a lot, but I had
know,
trouble
right?
standing up straight. Like you cannot walk on this thing straight. If I stood up straight, I'd fall over forward, right?
Mhm.
And then also, I'm pretty sure that the finish line faces directly east, so it was like hot. Like they gave me a Sharpie, and I knelt down wearing shorts onto the concrete, and I heard my legs sizzle and had to get up. Like it hurt
Oh, wow.
bad, and so I just kind of bent over and signed it, but it was friggin' hot. And George stole me a piece of the wall, which I'm getting framed. It's my
Yeah,
favorite souvenir from the whole trip.
Cole got to take part of the Daytona Speedway home. That was nice.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
I
A lot of
didn't
people
I
would
didn't
love that.
declare it in customs.
well, it's just paint. It's fine. So
Yeah.
the thing about the Daytona Speedway is like they don't ever repair anything. They just paint over shit. So if there's a wreck, they just paint over it.
Yeah.
And so there's like a 4-inch thick sheet of paint on everything. So if you find a
Wow.
piece that's peeling up, you can just grab it and peel it. So Dale has the safety part of the safety wall for the Daytona Speedway just after the finish line.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was pretty intense. And then of course, like that one night, I don't remember if it was the second last or the last night that I was there. But when you, Steven, and Brian and I were sitting, and I think Daniel was there for a little bit and then he left. But we were sat out on the deck at night having a few drinks and like we're actually secreting, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we went through the process, and like in retrospect that was part of my language, but that was the fucking shit. Like that I've never felt so um part of something, right? Like you really feel like this, like a member of the community when people sit down with you and do these things, and you can flip through the books and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
it's just a different experience all around.
Yeah.
And also like on a different level, going to Florida, like it made travel seem so much more possible and easy. You know what I mean? Like I didn't realize how simple it was to just fly across an entire continent to,
Yeah.
another to a state, and do something like that. Like, in Canada, like everything is very far apart in Canada, right? We're one of the most sparsely populated countries on the planet.
Right.
And so like every big city center is at least 2-3 hours away, things like that. Even small towns, sometimes you got to drive 40 minutes to get between towns. And like, you know, we judge things in time more than we do in distance. Um, and so, it can be daunting, right?
Right.
But then when I realized how simple it is to just fly somewhere else, like it was motivating to get up off the couch. You know what I mean?
I got a
Cam,
weird follow up for that. You ever think about going to Alaska?
I have thought about going to Alaska. There's actually a cruise that goes from Vancouver to Alaska.
Yeah.
I think it docks in Juneau or something
I
like
just
that. But I
didn't
want to go
know.
there just for the king crab.
Yeah, it's good. You would love
I
it.
believe it.
It's
They import it to Alberta a lot, but it's and it is good. Don't get me wrong, but I want it straight out the whatever that water is there.
yeah.
Cammy asked a question, but I'm going to rephrase it. Cole, would you like to talk about how you peer pressured Brian into getting a tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had originally asked George to do it, to get a twin tattoo with me because I wanted to get the podcast logo. Shout out to Pioneer for that. But yeah, and so when we were there, George said no. And so I just turned to Brian. I turned to Brian and I said, "Well, then you're gonna have to do it." And he basically was like, "Okay." And then I almost made him go first because I thought he might chicken out after I was done. But once he saw how cool the tattoo was, I think he was like, "I want to be just like Cole when I grow up."
Yeah.
And so he's like, "I'm gonna get that tattoo as well."
I mean, everybody wants to be just like Cole. I thought you were gonna get it in like reverse. Like
Reverse?
where like the logo was your skin and it like
Oh,
that's probably
that would have been
expensive.
cool. Actually, yeah, like if we'd have done some kind of a yin yang sort of thing like that,
Yeah.
you know, that'd have been cool.
I am the light, Brian is the dark.
Right. But no, I did not do that. But that tattoo shop was rad. I think I still have their card. I wanted to, if anybody ever goes there and wants to get the secret tattoo, she probably still has the stencil, for some reason. Um, Here we go. This chick, Miss Cora Stebner.
Right on.
At Miss
Check her
Deborah's
out.
Fountain of Youth Tattoos.
Yeah.
Brian says he loves it.
And I'm just stoked that there's somebody like, you know, an eighth of the way across the world that has the exact same tattoo as me. And he got his on his forearm though, correct?
Yeah.
Not on the same spot. 'Cause I think he already
No.
had something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he does have a tattoo up, and yeah, he got it on his forearm.
I wish he could be on this stream right now
Yeah,
Right.
like
Try again.
because I want to talk about how he gave me the original, my original copy.
come back, Brian.
Come back, Brian. Come back to me, Brian.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
So what else about everything? Because we had a whole list of stuff, and then when we get together, it's like, oh, let's go off on tangents.
We forget about everything.
Yeah, Cole. What
Are
do you
there
want
any
to talk about,
questions
brother?
in the comments?
Not
Or
really
any-
so far. I think
Any
people.
comments worth discussing?
He said left forearm. My
Talking about
comments have
Rocky
scrolled.
Mountains. Am I still on? Let's see.
Brian asked if you got to stand at Dale's corner, but you can't stand there.
Brian said left
Nope.
forearm.
They take you a little ways down. Where we did stand was probably a field's length from the crash site. I knew exactly where it was. I didn't need them to talk about it, but you guys watched the Darlington race today? It was the start of the NASCAR playoffs.
Mm-mm.
No, I did not. Sorry I have to say that, friend.
Mel Moore said that AI told her the St. Augustine cask is likely near the lighthouse. So
How many steps to the lighthouse?
that's a lot.
Hmm.
One time AI told me that Windows 11 was built on Debian because you could use Python in it.
Sorry.
Well, you know, I'm a Unix guy, so I find that hilarious.
It's an absurd nerd thing, Cole. AI is not reliable when it comes to things like
No.
Yeah,
that. I mean, I
and,
use the shit out of it, but it's not reliable.
ChatGPT once told me that Byron was the lead author of some Japan children's book, and I was like, I did a search. I was like, "Are you lying to me?" And it said, "Yeah."
Well, it was probably talking about the Japanese version of The Secret.
No,
Remember, everyone thinks
something
kids were
totally
supposed to be
different.
able to solve it.
I saved it. I just don't know where I saved it right now.
Brian, if you're there, at the bottom of your screen, there's a thing that is an oval with a kind of weird little curvy thing underneath it. If you click that, we'll be able to hear you.
Brian said a lot of people don't like hearing that you disagree with their idea that they've put all their time and effort into. It's hard for them to relinquish their way of thinking and such. I think that's a good point too. Like people, back to what we were talking about before, since I'm going through comments, people get so like emotionally and they invest themselves into their ideas that when they're wrong, it's like you're not.
No,
you're
wrong.
you're no longer talking about their ideas. You're talking about them and like their their
But I think
intellect and their
that's the name of the
self-worth.
game, though, isn't it? Like you're going to invest time and effort into anything. If it fails to produce the result that you were looking for, that's hard to accept, right? And
I don't know. I don't think it is if you're in the right mentality. Like how many times have I been wrong? A lot. Like, and it
I
doesn't.
have been.
Doesn't
I have to change my plans so many times with Charleston. It's not even funny, but now I'm pretty absolute to where I am. I've told Brian where I think it is, and Brian's like, "Okay." God, I wish he could get on.
I gave Brian my packet. So he played the Blue Sage Puzzle 6 and won it. And when I sent him his prize, I sent him my research package for the Charleston puzzle. And it's not long; it's just a couple of pictures and a little written up statement kind of thing. But you know, I just straight up handed that to him, and that's my next. I would really like to go to Charleston next,
Oh,
because
I would go with you, man. It's so much fun.
we
I've
should
helped
plan
so
a
many
trip where we meet
people.
somewhere and then fly over there.
Yeah, I've helped several people dig in White PG and Point Garden. I've seen people do crazy stuff, and I'm telling them, I was like, I don't believe it's there, but I'm here for
No.
you.
is construction done there yet? Do you know if construction's done?
At White Point Garden.
Yeah. Have they
They were
finished?
doing the outside last time I was there. Like they had the road blocked off, and they were like,
Brian would be a good person to ask
"Yeah,
if he could stay on.
He texted me and said it won't let him turn on his mic.
Oh,
that's weird."
yeah.
You have to give permissions if it's.
Get permission to turn on.
That's stupid.
Get permission to podcast.
One day we'll get Brian to come on and talk about his Charleston idea.
Yeah.
Just beat that to death.
But he'd let you. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Brian's a good guy. You know,
He said no.
like I
I don't know what he was saying no
distinctly
to.
remember
But he
telling
said no.
I think I distinctly remember telling him when we were hanging out and he told me his other idea. I think I distinctly remember him saying the idea, and I said to him, I don't like that's very compelling, but it's also kind of fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Well, Cole, what else?
we had a good laugh about it. What's that, buddy?
What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. The food in California or in Florida is pretty good.
Yeah.
That was a
lot of
pretty
the
cool
food.
place. You know, I walked in and I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I walked in, I'm like, I don't smell the usual smell I do when I go to places like this. Because in Nashville, that's where I am.
Yeah.
You know, for the longest time, if you got seafood up here, it just stinks, and that's why I never loved seafood. Now
Yeah.
that when I go places surrounded by water, oh yeah,
Yeah.
partake. In that place we went into and paid, you know, for the extra whatever it is we had. And y'all were devouring the snow crab or what was it?
It was snow crab.
Yeah, it was snow crab.
Yeah. The all you can eat
quality crab.
Oh, who cares, man? It was like $50 and you could eat it all.
Yeah, it was delicious.
The only thing that sucks is like that's a new restaurant and they don't know how to cook crab yet. Right? Like they don't quench it in ice after they cook it, so the meat like sticks to the inside of.
Oh.
But you know, whatever.
Yeah.
They'll get there.
They'll get there.
But yeah, that's the good one of the good things about St. Augustine is seafood. Because like there's some places you can go in St. Augustine, it's like tourist trap bullshit, just like Nashville seafood, right? But there's some places you can go, like there's some places you can go and you can like ask the cook who caught the fish this morning, like, and they can tell you, you know, like it's that fresh. It came off the boat.
Everything shipped daily.
Yeah.
So it's not bad like it used to be.
Man, I dream of going to Nashville.
Dude, you need to come. You can stay with me. And, you know, I work for, well, I'm not going to say where I work. I work downtown. So,
yeah,
take you anywhere you want to go.
Brian's trying again.
Yeah, Brian. I think it'll work.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. You can turn off your video if you need to.
It's okay. I had to join through the app instead of on the browser.
Oh, okay.
That makes a big difference.
So, whatever works.
Yeah. Hey, it works finally. Finally.
People are like insulting seafood now. They're like saying the scallops are awful in Daytona Beach. I mean, I bet that depends on where in Daytona Beach you get the scallops. And to eat oysters in New Orleans. I don't know why you wouldn't eat oysters in New Orleans. They just like go outside and get them from the ditch almost. Like they're everywhere in New Orleans. Anyway.
Brian's
here. Cole left.
Yep.
Right?
Is
I'm looking
Cole's
at blank screen.
fence made out of gates put on top of each other? So, because doesn't that look like a 6-foot gate?
It does.
That's cool. The comments are now saying that your beard is impressive, Brian.
Oh, it's always impressive.
Yeah, it is growing. I once saw a picture of Brian without a beard. That was interesting. It wasn't scary. It was interesting.
Shit.
Well,
Shit, I've had this beard. I've had this beard for about almost 8 years now.
oh wow!
Holy moly.
I don't think
That's
I can do that.
dedication.
Anytime my beard gets about right here, I'm just like, all right, I'm done. I just can't do it.
Get the itchy factor.
Yeah.
Tolkien's study said I knew Gandalf would appear.
Oh man.
No, you're the White Wizard, Sauroman.
Saruman?
Yeah,
Terrible.
the drawing that you have that I mistakenly attributed for so long.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it kind of looks like Saruman. Let's be real about it.
It does.
You know?
That's what I thought it was. I could have swore, like, because I was with John, we were framing that for the meetup, not framing it,
Yeah.
but like putting it on a matting it, and I could have swore he told me it was the Lord of the Rings study.
I thought it was for the longest time until you said so.
What is it a
Yeah.
study of? Just the wizard?
No, it's a book. It's a book cover.
Oh,
I forget the name of the book.
And you said the one that you gave me was based on Hellraiser?
Yeah, it's
Nice.
it's not an actual Cenobite, but it's based
Yeah.
like he was watching Hellraiser and then
Yeah.
just drew it.
oh, sick.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's
That's pretty cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah. I gotta stop giving away John Palancar artwork. I'm giving a lot of that away.
Right?
I mean, since we're talking about the Palancars and everything, I feel very fortunate. Like since August of last year, I've acquired 9 sketches of his, like
Yikes.
in literally like a year time frame,
And a painting.
and a painting as well. Exactly.
Yeah.
So like
When I was down there, I got an autographed copy of Origins. Man,
It's nice.
it's
this
still
is what
there.
I
It's
got
still
this
there, but
the meetup.
I,
This
that's
is
tight.
David King.
You have
that's
that?
pretty cool.
I do.
I've got the companion, the Wizards in Glass.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's in my hall. I didn't know he was selling that. Shit.
Yeah, I was really surprised. It's a little bit different than the book cover, but I like it.
Mm. Nice.
Jesus, I just had to type the word Saskatchewan and I didn't use the auto fill-in thing. That is a ridiculously long word.
This is one thing that I love, John, at least taking a slight interest in the community, and because like for so many years nobody could get his art. And now it's pretty
Wow.
easy to get, you know? Or just like send an email and buy something. That's nice. And I'm sure he appreciates the money.
Right?
I've been involved with The Secret for almost 8 years now, and every year we do the Secret Santa thing, and just jokingly, I'm like always, I want a Palancar sketch, painting, something, knowing that it's just almost impossible to get, so it's just kind of cool that literally in like the last year I've gotten the ones that I have gotten, and just more accessible and more attainable nowadays, and it means a lot to a lot of people, I'm sure, when you can get your hands on them.
Yeah.
Like, it really does.
I mean, there's been a couple of
And
old
it does-
schoolers that have been able to buy paintings, like not secret paintings, but paintings.
Yeah,
Like that's
If
something
exactly.
they've
And
dreamed
ever
about for
comes
years.
up, my goodness.
Yeah,
right. It's gonna be a World War III trying to get it.
I keep telling him
And like I
like,
said, it doesn't even have to be a secret related. It's just the fact that it's related to Palancars is what most people are looking at it, I would imagine.
Well,
yeah,
there's one
Yeah, right.
recently out that was going for 35.
1,000.
Yeah, it was on eBay.
Oh, yeah, that one Lovecraftian thing.
Yeah.
What I think is so funny is how, like, and it's unfortunate for him, I guess, in a lot of ways, is how, like, people that get introduced to John Palancar through The Secret like everything he does has to do with The Secret. You know what I
Oh
mean? Like
God. Yeah.
like every painting looks
Right.
like The Secret 12 and things like that, and they try to find clues in those things, and it's like
Well,
that's
Cole, I have to
bananas.
agree that I have heard that he does. How did he say it? Play homage to The Secret every once in a while in certain paintings, and I'm
I'm
like,
not saying he would
okay.
never do it, but
Well,
No, I don't mean that. I'm just saying I used to think the same thing, and I've seen some things where I'm just like, wait a minute, that's the same outline as
yeah.
in a
Well, I
different
think
way.
it all started when he gave out that painting of the guy with the box next to him in front of the forest,
Mhm.
right?
yeah.
And a lot of people started saying that that person was Byron, and there's the box, and then the count the trees thing.
Yeah.
John Pellencar said count the trees, and you know I don't know that it'd be below him to mess with everyone in a sense. You know what I mean? Like there was that one
Yeah.
podcast where he had the thing written on the back of his hand, things like that, and
Yeah.
Well, in
the
that same
community
painting,
just runs really far with stuff like that.
there's a tree that's in that painting that he's actually painted on another book, and then there's another Civil War related one that he's painted that has some similar images on it. So
Like the
there are
Texas
things that are
thing in the cloak.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like a tree is a tree. You know what I mean? Like we talk about this, and when it comes to grass and verses and stuff like that, and like
But the tree's the
you
same
know,
shape, just so you know. It's not just a regular
Whoa.
tree. It looks the
It's
so
not
same.
is it
a
like
tree.
is it a really distinct shape, or
Yeah.
is it just like
Yeah.
leaned over
It
a
looks
certain
like,
way?
if I were to say, it looks like the pine branches are making the letter K, and it
Oh,
looks the
right.
same way. And I don't mean that,
So
but
I have two things to say. Number one, since I'm now apparently an art seller and this painting came up, if you would like to buy the Muse and Reverie painting, I believe it is for sale. Because people were negotiating on it and they didn't get it.
oh, really?
Yeah, it's 100% for sale and there's a price and if you would like it. And the second thing is, like, I think when John says that he gets inspired by stuff from The Secret, or he puts little nods or whatever in other paintings, I think it means something to him as an artist different than what it means to searchers, because searchers think, oh, he's giving me like a little clue to help me out with this thing, and with John he's thinking, no, I really liked the way I used this type of imagery in this painting,
Yeah.
so I'm going to reuse that type of imagery here. It has nothing physical, because that's why he said at the meetup, like, there are some some shared things between the paintings, but they won't help you with the hunt. And it's
Right.
because they are, like, some things are inspired by other things, but it's not going to help you.
Well, and didn't he say once that or rather, isn't there a painting of his that's exclusive of The Secret that has a very similar blue outline? You know how a lot of the
There's a
stuff
lot of
in The
those.
Secret, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and he reuses that technique. Like that alone tells you that he's paying homage, I suppose, in that, like, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these techniques that he uses to pay homage to The Secret were moments in time where he discovered something new that he hadn't really done before and just was stoked about it while
Yeah.
he was working on The Secret paintings, right?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't strike me as the type just ever stop wanting to learn new tactics and things, right?
Right.
No artist really is, but like, it wouldn't shock me to know that he, some of his formative years as an artist came during The Secret creation, right?
Well, like, he talked about that blue outline a long time ago, and he said that it came from religious paintings, and it's a way to break a subject up from a background. It's like mid-ground lighting almost. And yeah, he uses that a lot. But the only time I know of him putting stuff from The Secret in another painting was Muse and Reverie, because the figure in Muse and Reverie is Byron, and the box is a cask, and that's the only time I know of him to directly reference The Secret in a painting.
That's good.
I want that picture.
Buy it, dude. It's for sale. I can broker that deal.
I've told many.
What does he want for it?
I think 15.
Oh,
I think 15.
that's not bad.
No, I think.
Well, in regards to him hiding imagery and everything like that, I've told many people that wanted me to go look for them, put boots on the ground for them. not everything in the painting is meant to be a clue. You know, I mean,
Right.
there are certain things that are definitively, yes, it is a clue, but not everything is, in my opinion. And I could be wrong, but just I don't think that everything is a clue like how everybody thinks.
Yeah,
So, and people don't like to hear that, but it is what it is.
it is what
you
it
know?
is. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I have to agree with you, Brian, because thinking about, I'm diehard Charleston. I was originally Boston until it was found. And I can tell you what I found, like the two gates, the two circles that is, and walking that going, wow, this has to mean something. But like Roanoke, it's a conundrum for me. I know George has been there, he's filmed something there, and I know that y'all have heard a lot about it, but as somebody that's trying to use it with new eyes, I'm not finding anything. Sure, I can follow the verse, but like the image, I've done the focus cross. Y'all know I've looked at it, I've studied it. It's just
I mean,
it's a
like
conundrum.
the hard thing about the image is all of these new people have come on in the past 4 or 5 years, and they're studying these images super hard, trying to find stuff, not realizing that there was a group of us for 20 years prior to that that did the exact same thing, and we found most of it.
Right.
You know? So there's not much left to find in the images. What you need to focus on is the burst. Try to figure out what the burst is telling you. Because that's where we fell short.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he say, or Palancar, or I remember somebody saying
that there was
some of the
two things. You started about that?
No.
Oh.
So I don't know if it was Palancar or if it was somebody else, but someone had said that there are going to be some puzzles that are image heavy, some that are going to be verse heavy, and some that are equal puzzle, picture and poem heavy together. So, just because Roanoke you can't match it up with the picture doesn't mean that it's not, that you can't use the poem exclusively, you know?
Right.
So maybe.
But, and for comparison, the way people like sort of go off on the images, he said Cleveland was one of the image heavy ones. Like, so you got like 6 things in the Cleveland painting and that's image heavy. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's where, like, at this moment, taking into account the GiftGiver stuff when it comes to Roanoke specifically, I think in a lot of ways what that stuff was telling us was not only, or rather, I'll say it this way: what I think that stuff was telling us was, you've got the clues, now you just got to figure out how to work them, right?
Yeah.
Like how to use them, and that's where you get a lot of the stuff where they said take from one side, put it to the other. That conversation we had with Graydon about all that stuff, like, not just because I was part of it, but I think we really touched on something there in that we weren't discussing this, like, the guts of the puzzle necessarily. We were discussing how to arrange them, right, in such a way that everything can flow freely and you figure it out. And I think at some point, if you do that long enough, you're eventually going to close in on a very specific place, right?
For sure.
One thing that I haven't heard, and I know people have talked about it, but maybe there's even with some of the paintings a forced perspective. And like with the
What do you mean by
lion's
that?
hair, if you look at it at a certain angle, it might say a word or something. Or like on Roanoke, I personally think that what the scarecrow is sitting on, the column, and then there's a ball. I think the ball is an eyeball trying to tell you to look up. And I don't know. I have tried so many different ways to look at these paintings from a force perspective, and it's there, but it's
the only
like with Roanoke's image,
just
like, Graydon and I talked a little bit together, and he'll forgive me for discussing this at all, but it's not a secret thing. But we talked a lot about the rolling of the paper and then using like those fancy mirrors or whatever to kind of see it from a different perspective. That too, in a sense, would be a forced perspective, right? And
anamorphic.
I have to think sort of pragmatically, in the sense that because there's an image on each side of the page, right? Cutting the page and stuff is not something that any of them wanted you to do, right? Because now you're messing with another puzzle altogether.
Right.
but rolling the paper, folding it in a sense, is probably not beyond the scope of what you got to kind of do, right? Like it's sort of telling you to just take a different perspective of this, move something from one side to the other, and on a piece of paper that's in 2 dimension, you cannot do much more than just fold or roll it to try to see it differently. You know what I
Right.
mean?
How would you roll it without taking it out of the?
Well, I mean, taking it out of the book wouldn't be. I don't think they didn't think that was going to happen. I mean, Kane's jawbone was built, and it
Oh, I thought you said
literally
that
had
they didn't.
perforation
I thought
lines.
you said that they didn't. You guys were talking about how they wouldn't want you to take it out of the book, removing
the
it.
book?
Yeah, cutting it out.
No, I mean cutting it in, like,
I got you. I
at all,
understand. Never
damaging
mind.
the paper in any
Got it.
way.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Misunderstood.
Yeah.
Well, I know the only one that has ever, from any sort of inside information, and this was only inside information like 7 years ago, was Kit said something about how he thought Charleston, where you had to do forced perspective for Charleston, because it was the wings or something. He said he didn't know for sure. He just was like, it kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
I could see that. Those wings have very, I'll use the word unique characteristics about them. You know what I mean?
I always kind of thought the waves in New York as well, because they're kind of elongated.
Yeah. I agree.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and like the number in the water in the 74 in the water in New York, like you got to really look to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it's a number, but I know what you're talking about. I do.
Yeah.
Cool that JJP named Kit after Kit Williams. He didn't. Kit's name is Christian, and they call him Kit for short. They actually don't call him Kit. They call him Kitty Cat. So if you ever want to mess with Kit, call him Kitty Cat.
I'm never gonna do that.
Dude, for the Cleveland meetup,
You'd laugh.
everybody that was on the panel got gifts. Got a gift basket because that's what we do. If you come on a panel and buy you something. And I got Kit this hot pink hat that says Kitty Cat.
Did he punch you in the face?
No, he wore it. And he called his mom
that's
over.
bad.
He's like, "Look what I got."
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So yeah, if you ever want to mess with him, call him Kitty Cat.
Well, cool. Anything else you want to talk about, brother?
Yeah, floor is yours, dog.
That's why I'm being so quiet.
Sorry, I'm eating Pringles, so I have my thing muted.
That's fine.
He seems like a cool dude. Kit is the coolest dude. He is guarded and he is hard to like become friends with, just because he's got shit going on, and he's private, but once you're friends with him, he's the coolest dude.
He was so cool in Cleveland. I mean, I talked to him for a little bit. He's just a great guy.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, I guess, too, that in a braggadocious sort of way, that I got to see 2 original secret paintings that trip, and it was awesome seeing the St. Augustine one, and then of course the tribute painting, which, by the way, is friggin' huge.
Way
That's a
bigger than you
big
think.
painting,
Yeah.
man.
I was surprised
I
by
couldn't
that.
believe how big that was.
I thought it was a poster at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so big.
You know what? You know what's
Way
funny,
big.
Steven? I didn't even know it was there. George was giving me the tour of the house,
Yeah,
and he walked me
same.
into his room where he is now, and then he showed me the bedroom that I was staying in, which is right at the end of the hall. And then we got out, and I just kind of looked over, and like to my left was the tribute painting, and I was like, "Holy shit! Like, look what's here!" You know?
I wanted to touch. I was like, "Is this real?" I wanted to-
Yeah,
didn't touch it.
I did touch it. I touched it. Kid, I'm sorry, I touched it.
Yeah.
I've gotten to see 3. I got to see the Cleveland one, the tribute one, and the St. Augustine one. So that's pretty cool.
I got to be the tribute one.
No comment.
That's rad, dude. I'm totally stoked. I would love to see the Cleveland painting. Like I would like to see the brushstrokes on that thing like crazy.
Yeah.
Is that one really big? Because they're not all the same size.
They're not all the same size.
No. Like St. Augustine is quite small.
Yeah. And New York and San Francisco are about, like, the painted section of New York is about the same size as St. Augustine. The San Francisco one where it's cut at the top, if you were to remove the top arch, it's about the same size as St. Augustine. And then they get progressively bigger.
Are any of them the same size as the tribute painting?
No.
No.
No, that thing is
No.
huge.
Yeah, it's big.
I
What is
asked.
the measurement?
I have no idea. It's huge.
Mhm.
It's like 4.5 feet tall. It's huge.
Yeah, it's big.
I told
I
Kit.
got a picture of. Go ahead.
I told Kit. I was like, before I got it, I was like, I'll get it framed, and he's like, no, you won't.
Yeah, I got a picture of me and Kid up in Cleveland beside the tribute painting. That was pretty.
Yeah,
It's pretty
worth
decent.
view.
Yeah, it's nice.
He had to
Guys,
bring
I
out
hate
that
to do this, and
gigantic.
Cole, thanks for letting me come on, but I've got to run.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
of
was
course,
a nice
man.
surprise,
Not
and
letting you
look
come
forward
on.
to next time. But it's good seeing you again, Brian. You too, and
Yes, sir.
George.
You as well.
Can't wait for the trip, bro.
See you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. See you.
Yeah, Kit had to bring that monstrous easel just to put the tribute painting on. That thing was huge. And then he made me carry it, carrying it on my back like I'm Christ holding the cross. Walking 2 blocks. I get halfway down there and I'm like, this thing's like 200 pounds.
Winded. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
I was surprised I actually made it to the Cleveland meetup. Like, I mean, that's the first time I had flown since '99. So it's been a
Yikes.
while.
It was worth it,
Yeah.
though, wasn't it?
It was definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
How far of a flight is that? Or how long of a flight is that?
Only a couple hours, right?
I left out of Savannah and flew direct all the way to Cleveland, and it was maybe about right at 2 hours, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't
that's not
long.
bad.
It's about 2.5
Yeah.
from Florida,
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
which is good because I always take those shit flights like Spirit and Frontier because they're like
I took
50
Frontier.
bucks. Yeah. You can do that for like an hour or 2 hours.
yeah,
Can't do that to San Francisco. First time I
No.
flew to San Francisco, it was me, Rachel, and Bradley. And Bradley he doesn't hate flying, but he hates landing and taking off. And it's me, Rachel, and Bradley all crammed into a row on a Frontier airline for 6 hours.
Yikes.
no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Shoot, just for my my 2 hour flight that I had, I think I had 2 Crown and Cokes just to kind of chill me out because it's been forever
yeah.
since I flew. So
When I flew down to Florida, I think it was a 3.5, maybe 4 hour flight from
Yeah.
Winnipeg. And yeah, I definitely was hitting the gin a little bit.
Yeah. It was horrible going to San Francisco on that, but coming back was really nice. And Rachel was like, "You're very calm coming back." I was like, "Well, Brett gave me these candies."
that's awesome.
Yeah. It was very nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, what else? We got time. We got time. You looking forward to the cruise? Brian, you're going on the cruise.
Absolutely.
Cole's not going to go. Cole doesn't like us.
Cole doesn't like it.
Your country doesn't like ours and wants to take it over. So
That's
pardon
true.
pardon me
Dude.
if I have a little cynicism.
Dude, Brian. Oh my God. So Cole left a box of stuff here. Just a small box. Well, he couldn't, in hindsight, I wish we had just like paid for you to get a carry-on, but he left this box of stuff and he's like, just mail it to me. And I mailed it to him as soon as he left, and it got sent back from customs because customs got all pissy and there was like a mail shutdown in Canada, and it sat here for a while until
Damn.
a couple of days ago when I went to mail it to Canada, right?
Wow.
And it was going to cost me $70 to mail this box, which is no big deal. But in order for Cole to pick it up, it was going to cost him $107
Yeah.
in fees.
Holy shit, that's insane.
Yeah. So don't mail anything to Canada.
No.
No, hell no. Damn, that's
I
crazy.
mean, I can pay it. Like, it's not an issue just to get all my stuff here, but that's a little crazy.
Yeah, but it's like, like we were talking, like it's cheaper for you to fly back down here and just pick it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping to kind of maybe take a trip to Orlando for Halloween.
That'd be cool.
A guy could pick it up then too, I guess. But
Let me know. There's Halloween Horror Nights in Universal, and I really want to go to that. Me and Destiny and probably Jason because they got like a Fallout. They got like Fallout section. So I want to go see the Fallout section.
It's funny you bring that up because me and Cammy were talking about going to Halloween Horror Nights.
We should go, dude. We should go because like Fallout.
Is that like
I
a
am.
carnival or something?
It's like Universal Studios, which is a theme park, does a Halloween Horror Nights where they like it's like a big haunted house.
Right,
But they do
okay.
different themes. Like last time I went was Freddy versus Jason and something else. And I think this year is Terrifier, Jason,
Oh, shit.
and Fallout.
But is it like those ones that you got to sign a waiver to go through where they're like drown you in
No,
blood and shit?
you
like
just
that, like
you just essentially no. It's you don't get hurt at these. But there's everybody that goes in agrees to getting scared or whatever experience. But if you don't agree, they give you a badge called the Scaredy Cat badge, and you have to wear it so that these
Nice.
people know that they're not supposed to mess with you.
Don't scare you.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's super
That'd be
cool
fun.
because they have like everything is themed. So I don't know if you know about Fallout, but they've got like
Mhm.
themed food. Like you can get Radaway, which is like a drink inside of an IV bag that says Radaway, and you can get
Nice.
iguana on a stick, and it's cool. I want to go.
That is cool. Is it actually iguana?
No, I think it's a donut,
Yeah.
Oh.
but yeah. Oh yeah, there's a WWE thing too, which I didn't quite understand, but I'm sure it'll be cool. But I really want to
That's
go.
weird.
That's weird.
I don't know how the
That's super
WWE could be scary. And it's not super expensive. I think it's like $100 a ticket or something, and it's fun. It's
That's
worth
not
it.
too bad.
No,
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No.
but we're gonna go. If you guys go, let me know, and we'll all just like we haven't spent enough time together after a week on a boat.
Yeah, I'll try and come down for sure.
That's
All right.
what friends do. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's all fucking just group activity. We're gonna take a field trip.
Yeah.
We'll make it secret related somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, I'll just end up back in St. Augustine again.
right.
So this is cool. I got a bunch of stuff that's like the cruise, Brian coming on, that's gonna be a lot of fun. And I still have like a $50 I'm gonna pay $50 to anybody who can outdrink Brian. Like if you can stay sober longer than Brian. Like you know what I mean? Like because I think he could drink
Take
just
that
about anything.
challenge.
You would lose.
You don't know Brian very well.
You would
Y'all don't know
lose.
Canadians very well. We invented drinking.
I'm gonna say it because I don't want anybody to get hurt trying to do it, but it's kind of a scam because Brian takes this medication that it doesn't allow. Like it's the side effect of it is alcohol has no effect on him, so he does not get drunk. He could just sit and drink and drink and drink and drink all day long, and he doesn't feel the effects.
That's sweet.
It's like
But where's the fun in that?
it's fun for people watching.
Yes.
And Andy told this story about how they went to like a Christmas party or something, and it was Andy, Brian, and their boss, and they were all drinking, and he was trying to keep up with Brian, and he was just getting sloshed, and Brian was just normal, and he didn't know at the time, he didn't know that Brian took this medication.
Damn.
A lot of people tell me they don't really know when I'm drunk, unless I'm like blatantly drunk. But like,
I knew when
pretty
you were
good
drunk.
at keeping my composure.
Let me get you a couple of cases of what is that? The Mike's
Twisted
hard
tea.
tea. Yeah, the twisted
no.
tea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely did that. That was one of the funnier things. So real quick, George and I think Destiny went
Oh,
into
God.
town to get Dunkin' Donuts or something, and I wanted to stop and get a case, so I did. And we come back, and as we get back, Brian pieces out in his beautiful truck, and like as he was going somewhere, and he comes back with 2 more cases. Like y'all
Yeah.
kept me fed and watered pretty damn well.
Well, I remember me and Rachel, before you came down, we went out and we bought, I think it was 3 cases of Twisted Tea, because I bought you like 2 original and 1 like party pack that had different flavors.
Yeah.
And I put them in the house, and I was like, this will be plenty for Cole's trip. No,
No.
That lasted a day.
Yeah. Well, and then I remember we went to that gas station and not Bucky's, but the other one. And I walked in there and they had, I think it was 240, or no, I forget how big they were, but like really big.
Yeah,
Like
tall
our
cans,
tall
tall
cans are
boys.
just a beer can that's tall. Like it's 2 beer cans tall. Whereas down there, like they were wide as well.
Yeah.
They had girth. And I was like, I can't believe how big of a Twisted Tea this is. But it was a lot. And y'all drink funny. Like Dan, the one night took me out, kind of bar hopping on whatever what was that street called? It was,
St. George.
yeah, St. George. Thank you.
Yeah.
And at one of the clubs, I was like, "Hey, man, let's do a shot." And now for people that aren't Canadian, there's a difference between your shot and our shot. Like vernacular is different in that when we say we want to have a shot, we mean a shooter, right? Like which is a 1 ounce little glass that they fill with a hard spirit of some kind, and you drink it. But in America, when you go to the bar and you say, "Can I have 2 shots of Fireball?" they will give you a rocks glass half full of Fireball, and that's your shot. And like, so I had to tell them, like, I want a shooter and not, and apparently they call those rails. I've heard it being called rails before.
Yeah, if they
But
put a bunch of them in a line, it's a rail.
yeah,
Like,
but like you can't just ask for a shot. Like here, you go to a bar, you say, "Can I have a shot of Fireball?" They're giving you a 1 ounce shooter of
If
Fireball.
you say we want shots of Fireball, they will give you shooters. But if you
Okay.
just want a shot, they'll put it in like a highball glass.
Yeah. So we ended up having drinks of
Yeah,
Fireball,
yeah.
me and him, and we took. I did a thing that I thought was really fun. I took a Corona that I was drinking because it was really hot, and Corona was the only beer that wouldn't feel like syrup in my mouth. But I took a Corona from one bar to the next to the next. I made a single beer go through 3 bars.
Yeah.
Like because y'all drink in the streets and shit, and we don't, like in Canada. You get caught with a beer in your hand, even brown bagging it, right? They're gonna
Yeah.
put you in the car for a while.
I mean, you
But
can't do it like on normal streets, but on St. George Street it's fine.
Yeah.
In New Orleans you can. In New Orleans you can go to a gas station, buy a beer, and ask for a go cup because it has to be in a
Oh, yeah.
cup. Yeah. You just put it in your
That's
cup and you
fun.
wander around, drink whatever.
I
Yeah.
just stuck it
Yeah.
in my khaki short pocket and then just had my hand over it, sort of thing, and just walking out of the bar. And we lucked out because we were at the second one. Was really funny because we walked back outside and there's like this big patio area that just walks out into the street, and that's where the security guys were, the handlers that check your ID and shit. And we're standing by the fence, kind of just watching them, and suddenly this like troop of like I guess they would have to be 21-year-old girls, but very young girls comes walking up and just accosts the security guard, right? Like they're just like, "Oh my god," blah, blah, blah. And his attention was gone. So I was just like, "Now's our chance," and we just booked it to the next bar
Yeah.
and kept the adventure rolling. But
Yeah, it's college town, man. Those are the college girls. And
yeah,
you guys were at the college bar for some reason. You guys went to No Name and White Lion, from what I understand.
yeah, White Lion was the other one. I remember
'Cause
that
I
one.
asked Daniel, I was like, why don't you take him to those?
Oh, and also you can smoke there. We went to this one
Mhm.
bar and I forget what it was called. I think that one might have been the White Lion, but it's very cramped. And the
Mhm.
stairs to get upstairs were like this wide. Like you
Uh-huh.
can't see my hands right now, but they were very narrow. But anyways,
It wasn't White Lion.
there was an ashtray on the counter next to me, and like you could tell it had been used. It had no butts or anything in it, but it had been used. And there was a lady like a little ways away from us around the corner who had like a Swisher Sweets cigarillo, right? Like
Mhm.
not a big fat cigar or anything, but she had it in her mouth and she hadn't lit it yet. And I was just like, it just kind of dawned on me. I'm like, "Can you smoke in this place?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, the smoking room's upstairs and you can hang out here." Because when they open the door of this club, it's just basically an open wall, I think.
Mhm.
And so it vents very well. And I like very slowly put a dart in my mouth. And, and I was like, "I don't know if I should light this, man. Like, I'm kind of worried I'm going to get kicked out," kind of thing. He's like, "Dude, light the fucking cigarette." So I lit it and like was smoking it, just waiting for Men in Black to descend on me and be like, "You can't have that here." And he's like, "Dude, come upstairs." And we walked upstairs and there's like 4 tables that all have ashtrays all over them and stuff. There's people playing foosball up there and stuff. Like it was kind of surreal because we have very strict smoking laws here, and so it was nice to just let loose.
Yeah. We have secret questions. Someone named Hugh worked on the St. Augustine puzzle today for a bit. That's very nice. Someone asked if we think that the New York treasure's in Manhattan. I don't. I think those were
Nope.
the only secret questions
Now we're just reminiscing.
about beer. Cole went into a gas station to buy beer and then walked out and stood at the back of my car for like 30 seconds. And we were trying to figure out what he was trying to do. He was trying to put the beer in the trunk because apparently that's something you have to do in Canada.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and like I guess that was one of the other things too is the cultural. I wouldn't call it cultural shock necessarily, but just the difference between us. Like when we were at one of like when Dan and I were out at the clubs, um, he was telling people that I was Canadian and that I was on my first real American trip kind of thing. And this one cat rolled up to me and he's like, "You guys got different words like for cigarettes and stuff." And I was like, "Well, yeah, everywhere does, right?" And he's like, "No, but there's one in particular that I don't like. I can't remember. He had heard it once or something and he couldn't remember." And he started listing off like I started saying things like stogie or butts or whatever, right? And nothing. And then finally it just dawned on me. I was like, "Do you mean darts?" Right? Because that's what we call them here sometimes. We'll go for a dart. And like this cat flipped, man. He was like, "Yeah, that's like the most Canadian word ever." And I'm like, "No, it's probably not." But to this guy, it was the most Canadian thing in the world was to call a cigarette a dart. And he's like, "Can we go for a dart, man?" Right? And I gave him one of my Canadian cigarettes because they are different. They have warnings on the filters and stuff, and they're awesome as opposed to hay. And it was interesting to see the differences, the subtle differences in people.
Yeah.
You have a question. Are there any other proposed solutions that you feel are on par with the podcast team's San Francisco solution? And I'm assuming he doesn't just mean San Francisco solutions.
Can you say that one again, please?
Are there any proposed solutions that you feel are on par with the podcast team's San Francisco solution? And I assume he means for any city.
Sure. I don't know.
Well, which ones?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Any proposed solutions? Anything you've heard that's that good?
From people that are not part of the podcast?
Yeah.
Searchers in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm compelled by people's theories all the time.
I think the difference is
Yeah.
like most of those build on other things and like their ideas get really good at the end, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just like I feel like there's a lot of different things where I feel like someone's interpretation of a line or two lines or three or whatever is like super, this is right on, but they're building
Exactly.
off of somebody else. So it's like, it gets finicky when you attribute it to that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
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 Because then somebody's like, well, he stole this from me. It's like, who cares?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about communal, what's the word I'm looking for here? Communal intellect, if you will, is that it as soon as you make it a community thing, credit is
Yep.
should
It's
not
not,
be
yeah.
something that matters. It's the community that gets it, right? Every time somebody digs up a cask, the community should be the ones that take pride in that. You know what I mean?
But if there's one thing that I learned from the anniversary hunt, it's very few people understand that. Very,
Yeah.
very,
Boston.
very few people understand that.
Look at how people reacted to Boston, right? So many people came out that were like, "That was my idea. That was my place." Yada yada yada. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, you're one person in a group of almost 30,000. Like that's a pretty good sample group of people. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's like, if it's your idea, make it public, right? Like there's so many,
Exactly.
90% of the people that you know of in the secret community, you don't know them because they found a cask. You know them because they put
No.
something interesting out there.
Yeah.
So if you got something good, put it out there. If you want to be known in the secret community, give people something useful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And let them do with it what they will. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's two sides to sharing stuff. Like it's good because it gets more ideas out into the idea pool. But also, like ideas are not concrete things. You know what I mean? They should be very malleable at all times. But it's within our willingness to share that with people and tell them, you know what, here's an idea that I had, do with it what you want. If you're not willing to do that, and all you are saying is, here's an idea I had, full stop, what's the point of carrying on the conversation? Right?
Yeah.
You're basically saying,
Yeah.
this is not going to change, and whatever. So give ideas, share ideas and stuff, and let people roll with them, and don't be offended if it doesn't come back to sit in your lap and say, good job,
Yeah.
Cammy said, but the anniversary hunt made some awesome friendships. And it,
Like, yeah.
and some not so good ones.
Exactly. Yeah. It's good, bad, and ugly came from that one so far.
Well, it was like everybody, it's weird because even publicly, people who were like, oh, I'm just here to help the community, were just there to kind of screw people. It's weird when you're in the puzzle makers perspective. Like I remember I was sitting and talking to this one searcher, and we were talking about her. She was telling me her ideas, and I didn't really want to hear them. I was just kind of there, and I had to. And she was talking about like how she really wanted to dig in the civic center, and I was just sitting there thinking like that whole time. I was like your best friend, like, because we give hints to people, and we would be like, it's your choice whether or not you want to share these publicly. And I was like, your best friend knows it's not there. Why are you still, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was weird. It was a lot of shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was a lot of like the point of the thing was teamwork. So any information was either given out publicly or given out. If it was given out privately, it was like, you should share this with the group. And then half the time it either wasn't, or it was shared incorrectly. It was weird.
A lot of the information was bogarted by several people and not shared at all. So
sorry, what are you talking about? I had to go and tend to something.
Nothing. We probably shouldn't talk about it. Just
Okay.
complain for like an hour. I think some people really got the point of that hunt, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
And then some people didn't. I think it's still like that group is private now because like you can't join it anymore, and which I don't quite understand.
We're not accepting new members.
Don't understand that, but whatever.
There is reason behind it.
I'm sure.
I'm not really at liberty to share it, but there is reason behind it.
I'm sure. It's fine. Trust you guys. I don't care. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't understand. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people ask me, they're like, George, can you make this public? I don't have anything to do with it. Talk to the mods.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. No, that hunt is. It sucks that everything kind of turned private in it.
Yeah, but at least towards the end, like it was something I didn't realize was happening until towards the end, and it was something I could fix. It was something I could be like, okay, now you guys all have it, like, because anything that was hoarded, I could just come out and say it at the end, and it was like, and now I stop. Now you don't get anything else. Now everybody has everything you need.
Yeah.
So.
Well, then there's political stuff about that whole thing that bothered me a lot, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's a puzzle that needs to be solved, right?
Yeah. Kind of political stuff.
Well, I mean, like I don't want to start any fights with anyone.
Got
because
it. Understand.
Whatever, but
let it go.
Yeah.
Say less.
I don't even think necessarily it would start a fight. It's just like the way that they had the big contest for Marge's thing where you could get a question. Like I dug that. Don't get me wrong, because Marge is a fucking sweet lady, and her family deserves that sort of thing. And our community kicks ass in that sense, that we are always willing to rally around each other when we need it the most. To me, that was the definition of community. But at the end of the day, so the whole point of that was to get somebody to get a question answered honestly by George that might help propel the hunt and get people somewhere. And then the winner of that offered a choice to everyone else. And at that point, that's where I thought, what was the point other than, like, we could have just held a fundraiser, right? And probably had people donate money and whatever, and it would have done well. But when the person wins the contest, gives away the prize to the rest of the community, like it went exactly the way I kind of like, it was predictable the way that was going to turn
Yeah.
out, in that nothing was really going to come of it. Like, we got that sweet video that you made and things like that, but at the end of the day, like, there were so many better ways that could have been handled
Yeah.
by the community at large, right?
But I think it was in the spirit of the hunt. Like, it was the teamwork. It was like, I don't want to take
Oh
this
yeah,
prize. Let's come together and
no,
figure. But you had a group of people who were all in on being open and honest with one another and teamwork, and then you had a group that weren't, and they were both kind of
right,
fighting each other for, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So it was weird.
yeah. No, and I don't mean to diminish any of that, because at the end of the day, it was for a really good cause and whatever. But you know, I don't know
I
that
don't think
we.
Tim's ever gonna do that shit again. By the way.
Well, but I don't know that we really like, and maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention or something, but I don't think we really, other than the funds we raised for Marge's family and stuff like that, I don't know that the hunt itself really gained anything, right? Is that I don't, and again, I'm treading on eggshells here. I don't want to make anyone mad, because it's not my intention, but
Yeah.
from my perspective, it seemed like it was like, okay, great, we did a fundraiser and it worked,
Yeah.
awesome, right? But does anyone really know anything else? And I mean, as the creator of the puzzle, you can say yes or no to this, but does anybody really know anything more than we did the day before?
I think they did. It was Kathy said something in the comments earlier where people just kind of read in what they want, and
Hmm.
there was a lot of valuable information that was released, but people did that. They just read into what they wanted, instead of listening.
Yeah.
And then someone asked what happened to Tim. It was like, okay, so there's a lot of assholes in the secret community, and this wasn't an anniversary hunt fundraiser. It was a secret community fundraiser for Marge. So a lady named Marge, who's big in the community,
Sorry.
passed away, and well, it had anniversary. I see you don't have anything to apologize for because it had anniversary crossovers. Anyway, Marge was real big in the community, and she passed away, and she wasn't. Her family wasn't in a position to sort of take care of themselves. So Tim Odeswire set out to raise money, and he did. He raised like 6 or 7 grand, a lot for the family, and he offered different prizes. Brian, you gave away a book, right? Or was it Tim that gave away the book? Like,
It was Tim that gave away that book.
Tim gave away
Yeah.
the book. He
Yeah.
gave away a copy of The Secret. I gave away a bunch of anniversary hunt related stuff. There was a lot of like a bunch of people donated really, really good prizes. Anyway, a lot of money was raised, but something Tim didn't realize. I tried to warn Tim about this. I tried, but like I don't think I was clear enough. As soon as you do something, anything with money in The Secret, people are going to start calling you a scammer. People are going to start bad mouthing you. People are going to start talking shit. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just going to happen. So people started saying those things about Tim. And like, Tim's the most honest dude I know, right? Like, even though he was very transparent about the money raised, where the money went, and when the money went there, people still gave him shit for it. And Tim's the kind of guy who's like, like he's got a really good life and a really good reputation, and he's like, I don't have time for this. So I don't think he's ever gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
What puzzles do you guys work on mostly? What puzzles do you guys work on mostly?
Blue Sage puzzles, because I make them and it's a lot of work. But Kane's Jawbone and The Secret. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I like Montreal and Charleston are my 2 biggest focus. They are the ones that I've done the most work on out of all the ones remaining.
Yeah.
So I do Blue Stage Puzzle and then Charleston mainly. I've looked into the St. Augustine one and I've looked into Roanoke, and that's just because of proximity wise. I count myself fortunate that I was actually able to get up to Cleveland, but outside of that, I don't foresee myself traveling to, California, Houston, Quebec. Not that I can't, I don't see me traveling to those places. So in my mind, I'm like, well, if I'm not going to travel there to try to recover these things, why research them? Not being lackadaisical about it. It's just reality. I stay in a small location, and like I said, the closest ones for me is Charleston, and that's 45 minutes away, and I can get there every weekend. So I focus on that one a lot, and that's just where I'm at. So
Roanoke, I look at a lot too, but mostly because of GiftGiver. Like, I'm more trying to solve GiftGiver than I am that puzzle. So Roanoke, I've done a lot of research in, but it's not one of my points of focus.
Cammy told Kathy to get on the cruise, and Kathy said, if I can find $400 more laying around, I'm there. So if the anniversary hunt comes together and raises $400 for Kathy, I'll make you another video or something. Shit, whatever. Okay. That video was fun, and there was more I wanted to say. So, my puzzles that I work on, I don't really work on The Secret anymore a lot, like as in depth as I used to. I like puzzles that no one else knows about because they're quiet. I've really been working on, I can say the name of this one because nobody, like, it's not a community thing, but I really like Mayday Mystery. I've been working on that a lot lately.
Sorry, Mayday Mystery?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's dense. It's difficult. I'm trying to figure out, like, so there's been a bunch of Mayday Mystery is I think I've explained this before, but I'll do it again. It's this, so I say randomly, every year since 1981, an ad has appeared in the Arizona Wildcats newspaper on May 1st, and it's always been cryptic ads that don't make any sense. They always contain like ancient languages, and they talk about an organization called the Orphanage having meetings and doing all of this random stuff, and nobody's ever been able to figure out what these ads mean. And there's almost 50 years of them, you know, each year. So I've kind of been digging into those, basically trying to source where information's came from recently. But yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah.
So I
play rabbits a lot.
Huh?
So I have two other hunts that I'm actually working on. So you might know him, might not. There's a guy named H. Charles Beale that put out a couple of puzzles a while back, and some of them have been found. And it's not necessarily puzzles. He calls them books that he puts out.
You about to get into some drama here. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Like you can go find his. He hides caches, like legit containers that have like real treasure, gemstones, things like that in them. So this is one that I actually do. It's called the Legend of the Cross on the Rock. So this is, if you download this one, it's just a backstory, and you read the story, and from there you're supposed to be able to find out where to go to try to find this container that he's hidden. Metal detectors are usable and everything. So this one is in Keatonton, Pennsylvania. So that's where that one goes to.
I worked on one of his hunts, the Theodosia Burr, I think is what it was. Yeah, that one ended up being found, right? Like in his daughter's backyard or something, in some no-name podunk North Carolina town.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
there's a lot of drama with him. You got to be careful with those hunts.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
There's one person that found one of the caches, came out and said that all the gems in it were just dyed quartz.
Exactly. You got to definitely be careful and look into it. Like the Cross on the Rock, the Legend of the Cross on the Rock. The main thing inside of that one, it's a strong box, metal strong box, and it actually has like a 6-inch cross with like supposed to have like legit Colombian emeralds in it. And it's like, really, you know, is it really a gold cross with a Colombian emeralds in it? Don't know. You know, it looks real, but is it really real? Yeah. You know, that's I don't see somebody actually going and hiding that on purpose.
Mel would like to ask if someone can make a list of all of these alternative hunts and games you guys are mentioning. If you go to like the puzzle subreddit on Reddit, you'll find them there. They are not like The Secret. Yeah, ARGs. They're not like The Secret at all, and none of the skills that, especially if you're like the back of the book type of person with The Secret, none of the skills that you have will be transferable to them.
No, not at all.
And they won't be fun for you, I don't think. But check out the puzzle subreddit on Reddit.
One that I really enjoy that's not, I mean, it's not technically a puzzle, but it definitely is a puzzle, is read the book House of Leaves.
Oh God.
And try to figure out what the story is, right? Because like what it's all about. I got a copy of it from my Secret Santa last year, and it took me about 4 months to kind of get a read on it, and it's intense.
If you're a back of the book person, read this. Finnegan's Wake by James Joyce. You'll love it. You'll love it. You'll love it. You'll love every part of it. Just read that.
Also, Cain's Jawbone. I like to always talk about that one because, and recently, well, not super recently, but in the last year or so, Matt Sparks sent me a copy of it, and I had worked on it a bit before. But what's really neat about that puzzle is that it's a book and it's 100 pages long, and each page, all the pages are out of order, right? And the idea, and each one, there's only text on one side of each page, and there's a perforation line on each one. So the idea is that you're supposed to cut these pages out, lay them down, and try to recreate the story or figure out who. Like it's a murder mystery, but you got to figure out who did what and all this stuff and how the story actually goes. It's very old, and it's only been solved, I think, twice since 1932.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool book. I sent a copy to Linda a while back, but
I got in a conversation with somebody who was one of the types of people who read The Secret and just pick out words, like read the verse and we'll pick out a word and we'll go off on a tangent about that word and not really paying attention to the context of that word. And I got into a very in-depth conversation with them about it. I was trying to understand their mindset because I'm not the kind of person who can take myself out of the context of what I'm reading and can look at something word by word, trying to find connections. So I decided that I wanted to try to figure out how to do that. And the only way that I could think of trying was to read Finnegan's Wake. So I bought Finnegan's Wake and I'm going to read it. And I don't know if do either of you know what Finnegan's Wake is?
I've heard of the book, but I don't know a lot about it.
It's this book written by James Joyce, who's a very, very popular author. He wrote, I want to say Ulysses. He wrote Ulysses. Very, 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 very good author. He wrote this book, and it's essentially, I don't know if it's a thought experiment or an experiment in writing, but the front of the book starts mid-sentence and connects to the back of the book, which starts the sentence from the front of the book. It's a circular book. The book never ends. So you start it, you get to the end, you have to start over again. And it doesn't tell, it kind of tells a story, but it's very revolving. It tells the same story multiple times in multiple different ways. And none of it makes any sense. You can open this book to any random page and just start reading and you're fine. It's written in English and other languages, but it's written where the other languages, if you sound out the word in the other language phonetically, it sounds like a word that you're supposed to replace that word with in English. It gets weird. It's considered the most difficult book to read, but people read it sort of like they read The Secret, where they read it like everything is a clue. You kind of have to read it where every single word, you have to analyze every single word on its own. So I'm seeing if that'll get me into that mindset and sort of help me understand.
There's a really interesting book that I read in college. There's a few that I read in college that were really interesting, but one of which was authored by a guy who is a professor now at the University of Calgary and has been for many, many years. But the book is called Eunoia, and it's spelled Eunoia. And this guy, he writes different poems in different ways, but what he does with it is certain poems will he uses rules to write his poems, and some of them will be every word has to start with the letter I, right? And then the next puzzle will be you cannot write this with any I's in it.
Yeah, it's
right?
called restrictive
So he'll take
writing.
certain letters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he wrote the language of the Klingons in Star Trek for, I can't remember which series it was, but it might have been Voyager and past kind of thing. And that's what he did for work before he finally just decided to settle down and teach English at the University of Calgary. But it's a bananas book, and the poem Eunoia itself is if it's an acrostic, so each it's EUNOIA, but each line starts with those letters, and that's what the poem is, right? But it's all about looking at the English language more as art than as like necessity for communication, right? Neurolinguistic programming does sort of a similar thing, but this book was like it's kind of it's almost a puzzle in a sense, like just
Yeah.
to teach you how to relook at speaking or reading, you know.
There's this one restrictive writing book. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like an actual book where if someone didn't tell you what what was going on with the book, you would never know. But it's the entire book is written without using the letter E.
Yeah.
Which is way more difficult than you would think, like than you
Yeah.
first imagine.
Try writing any series of sentences without the letter E, right? It gets tricky.
Yeah. So anyway.
But actually, Eunoia is where I learned that if you write out if you write the name of every number, not just write the numbers down, if you write down every single number, you will not see the letter A until you get to 1,000.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That's part of the introduction of that book that I got. The copy that they give us in college, it said in there, that was like the first line of the introduction was like, if you write out the names, you won't see the letter A until you get to 1,000. And it like kind of blows your mind a little bit.
We got off on a tangent.
Right? Yeah.
So this is what I'm going to be doing on the cruise. If you find me on deck, I'm going to be reading Finnegan's Wake, confused and drunk.
If none of his sentences make sense, it's probably because he's been reading that book.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
he's got these things in this book called thunder words. Like he makes up words a lot in this book.
Mhm.
But he's got these called thunder words and they're like 150 letters long.
The
And they
hell?
look like just gibberish, like he just on a keyboard, but he didn't, because if you sound out the word, it sounds like thunder. Like it has a crest, it has an arch. It sounds like the sound thunder makes. That's why he calls them thunder words.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway,
Do they have meaning?
no, they're to stop your train of thought. They exist to
Got it.
stop your train of thought.
That's cool.
Because like there was a guy in the comments, Tolkien Study was saying like the book does have a story, and it only kind of does. It tells like 3 different stories at once. It tells the story of a family, but it also tells the story of Ireland, like from the perspective of a river and a mountain. Like it's weird.
Wow.
So yeah. Anyway, what else?
Anyway,
We've got like, we're at 2 hours, so we can end whenever you guys want, or we can keep talking if you have something you want to talk about.
no, I think I'm pretty clear.
Okay.
This has been a
Brian?
trip.
Yeah, it's been
This was
fun.
fun.
Absolutely. I'm just glad I was able to finally get on here.
Yeah.
Right?
Took forever.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
just to wrap up, remember the little mini meetup in Miami on the I should really know the date. 14th. At the Holiday Inn at the airport. Everybody, Brian's gonna be there. I don't know if he's gonna have his cask. I don't know. We're going on a boat, so I don't know if he's gonna bring it on the boat. Rob was really good about bringing his on the boat. I don't know if Brian is gonna do that. I think as far as I know, the anniversary cask will be there and then be on the ship. There's a event page on the group if you want to go. That's it. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
See you later, everyone.
Bye.